While the Caribbean has some of the highest violence rates in the world, we believe that when youth are engaged, peace is possible.
It's about getting down and dirty. It's about getting into communities and showing that you have a plan of action. Showing how you will get this agenda into the community to affect real positive change.
Since 2016, USAID's Community, Family and Youth Resilience Program, CFYR, has been partnering with young people throughout the Caribbean region to create safer communities. In January 2019, the Caribbean Youth Advocacy and Action Agenda on Youth Violence Prevention, known as the AAA, was finalized under USAID's CFYR. This youth-led initiative was the outcome of extensive conversations with young people, researchers, development practitioners, and policymakers across the region, and captures an action-oriented set of priorities aimed at reducing youth violence. Organizations that supported this work also include CARICOM, UNICEF, the Commonwealth Secretariat, the Caribbean Development Bank, and the OECS. The AAA provides a framework for youth violence prevention policy and programming at the community, national, and regional levels, by, with, and for young people, to build protective factors and offer social, economic, and other opportunities as alternatives to harmful risk-taking. In an effort to build an ongoing violence prevention work in the region, the AAA is grounded in CARICOM's Social Development and Crime Prevention Action Plan and focuses on three of the document's 5 main pillars. 1. Prevent and reduce violence. 2. Foster social inclusion. And 3. Promote effective reintegration and prevent recidivism.
It's one community and one world.
Young people feel that positive action on these 3 pillars will promote a Caribbean culture of peace, where youth embrace behaviors and lifestyles that reject violence.
The time for action is now. We have to be more strategic in our approach if we are to create a culture of peace.
On Pillar 1, to prevent and reduce violence, the AAA advises that programming must build on a positive youth development framework. Organizations, agencies, and communities must also deliver evidence-informed programming, interventions, and resources that resonate with youth in all their diversity. Communities must also work together to address controversial issues like domestic and gender-based violence, toxic masculinity, bullying, and corporal punishment.
Can you be so blind?
Sean, what have I done to you to make you talk to me like that?
Because you always want to talk about this, you want to talk about that. Huh? It was said I'm fine. I am fine. This level doesn't don't ask no question.
But obviously you're not.
On Pillar 2, to foster social inclusion within the context of the AAA, the key concept is to open up possibilities for young people who are at risk or marginalized to gain basic life and employability skills, allowing for decent work and income generation opportunities. This may mean confronting obvious biases in the system that benefit some while excluding others, particularly those who suffer from harmful stereotypes or the lasting impacts of prior poor decision making. On Pillar 3, to promote reintegration of justice-involved youth and reduce recidivism, it's important to recognize that juveniles are not adults and should not be treated as such within the criminal justice system. The AAA recognizes the need to introduce cross-cutting laws, policies, and programs that acknowledge the particular needs of young people in conflict with the law, as well as the need for community engagement to support restorative justice.
Like a coward and a fugitive, look how you run from town to town, abandoning your own son, dodging your responsibility. I was forced to feel like a stranger in a foreign land.
The Advocacy Toolkit and Online Advocacy Course. The AAA represents a call to action aimed at stakeholders at all levels across the Caribbean region interested in preventing youth violence. As a next step, USAID's CFYR has been encouraging youth action on the priorities outlined in the AAA through the creation of an advocacy toolkit that provides young people with the tools and skills required to develop and implement goal-driven advocacy campaigns. With the AAA as a platform, the Advocacy Toolkit, which will soon be available on an interactive website, gives young people a step-by-step guide to identify and frame their key issues, hone in on audiences they need to reach and craft messages to reach those stakeholders who can bring about the change they seek. USAID CFYR is also delivering an online advocacy course to young people across the Eastern and Southern Caribbean, which uses the AAA Advocacy Toolkit to guide their efforts to build an advocacy campaign rooted in one of the 3 pillars in the AAA. In this practical training, participants in groups developed advocacy campaigns on a range of issues which are assessed on an established set of criteria. The May 2020 winning campaign was submitted by Shapers, a group comprising young people from Guyana and Saint Lucia. The focus of the campaign was to decrease unemployment by changing the perspective of youth in rural communities. Young people are leading social movements throughout the Caribbean and fight every day to make their world a better place. We are proud to support these efforts and contribute towards creating a culture of peace.